Check, check. Hello, my name is Will Freeark, and this is a very random stream, but I don't know why this idea just hit me to kind of explain all the businesses that I'm working on, mostly under the page, my brand, SetWillFree. And I guess I thought this would be a cool thing to explain and then maybe look back on in a couple years and see how it all worked out. Because a lot of people have told me to narrow down and focus on less because I have all these ideas that I want to bring into the world. And I see their point because, sometimes you got to like choose what you're going to go all in on. But when I have a great idea and I really believe in it, I want to see it come to fruition. So we have a couple different lanes of things that we're working on. When I say we, it's basically me, Wyatt, my brother, and all my friends that kind of help me out, But mostly it's me and Wyatt grinding on many of these. So let me just make sure that I have headroom. How can I fucking see this? Okay. I have to like run back really quick. Like if I'm standing. Okay. Okay. I'm a goofball for real. Okay. So SetWillFree was my fun run username back in 2012. And yeah, over time, I just kind of realized it was pretty hard, actually. My name's Will Freeark, so it worked. And I've done a shitload of different content on the internet. If you scroll way back on this very YouTube channel, you'll see vlogs and BMX edits from like 2016. You'll even see GoPro edits from before then. Like, I was a kid with a GoPro jumping off cliffs and shit. Eventually it kind of became BMX edits, and then around 2016, 2017 it became vlogs of me and my friends partying in high school, kind of David Dobrik style. That kept going all the way through college. Then short form content became a thing in like 2019, 2020, and that's when I started to actually experience growth on social media. So the YouTube stuff, like I was grinding, posting videos like every other week for years, and I didn't even have 1,000 subs. I had like 500 subs. I had 100 for a long time, but I didn't care. It was like I fell in love with like making videos and just creating. My mom's a very creative person, and I think I just always was attached to that, and like filmmaking specifically. Even when we were kids, we were making backyard movies and shit. There's another channel. If you look up Running Back 5648, you'll discover my first channel. Anyways, short form content came out, and that was like my first opportunity to like fucking grow, because you could post it on TikTok and it could blow up and get 1 million views. So I was doing that and promoting my YouTube channel. I think I got up to like 8K subs that way, and I was doing travel stunts, just like fun, like living life as a teenager content. Right at the end of college in 2022, I was watching Aiden Ross stream, and I was like, this is sick that he gets to hang out with rappers, basically. I'm like super into hip hop, especially at the time. And I just like, it was like a simple thing. I was like, oh, well, I do cinematography and I shoot videos, so maybe I should do music videos. And my TikTok social media brain instantly thought of the idea to offer free music videos to strangers. I've told this story so many times in person. It feels good to tell it on camera, but like those words have literally been said so many times just because I've explained how this all came to be. And I went to South Beach, Miami. It's a funny story actually, because my roommate, who I had gotten into TikTok at the time, his name is Aiden, and I got him into it because he's a guitar player, and I said there's some kind of content you could do with this, fucking with people in public. So he went out and did guitar pranks, and he got like 20 million views on his videos. It was insane. He was blowing the fuck up. He got bigger than me. Anyways, my girlfriend, who was my new girlfriend at the time, was going on a family vacation. So I was in state college. It was February. I was like, fuck this, bro. Aiden, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's fly to Miami and shoot content. Let's write out a bunch of ideas. So we flew down there in the middle of the week. We skipped class. I never graduated college. And we were down there, and I had a bunch of concepts. A lot of them involved fucking around with strangers. We rented a Corvette. We were doing pranks. And then on the second to last night, it was like my last idea on the list. It was free music video for a stranger. We start asking all these people, hey, are you an artist? Are you an artist? We find somebody named D-Man Drippy Dollars, and we shoot that video right there on the spot. It was midnight. It was completely unplanned. We used my Corvette that we had rented. And I literally, a bunch of other crazy shit happened. I just posted a new vlog from Miami where I kind of go over this story. But anyways, we come home and I sit on that footage for like 2 months, and D-Man Drippy Dollars is hitting me up. Hey bro, what's good? Are you going to drop that video? And I'm like, whatever. Aiden is like, dude, just edit it. Let's see if it does well. I edit it. I post it. It instantly goes viral. It's got like 5 million views in like a day and a half. Something like that. I get a DM from Tyreek Hill. People are sliding in my DMs. It's going crazy. I'm like, oh shit. Instantly clicked. This is what I need to do. So I start pumping more of these out. Okay. I post like a bunch. I'm getting a mix of strangers on the street and people from my Instagram that are paying me $1,000. So at the time, that's how I was making my money. And it worked out well because I was leaving college and moving to New York. So I needed some way to make money. The idea of freelance video for companies was kind of boring to me. But I didn't make any money off social media previously to this. So it was awesome though. It was like I was promoting my own music videos. People were hitting me up. I started charging $1,000. Then I kind of ramped it up to $2,000. This was all the way through the summer of 2022 into the fall. Now I'd moved to New York at this point. And then in 2023, that's when things got fucking crazy. I did a video with an artist named Tusi where I walked up to him and then pitched him on this music video idea where we pass out roses to fans. It clicked perfectly with his song called Favorite Song, and it literally blew the fuck up. It got like 46 mil on TikTok, even more across platforms. And it was up from that point. I was fucking lit. 2023 was insane. It was like a week later I did Ray Shremmer. A week after that I did NLE Choppa. And the names just kept coming in. Polo G, boom, 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 Sexy Red, Offset, all throughout the year. And that is when I actually started making a lot of money. The problem is I was spending a lot of money. But anyways, I was getting $10,000 budgets all of a sudden. And, I was new to music videos, but I think an important lesson in this is I skipped the line as a director by knowing how to market myself and the artist. So like they were paying for the marketing as much as they were paying for me to, go shoot a music video. These weren't the official videos. These were like 30-second snippets. This was like, I was getting paid 10 grand by these labels to make a TikTok, and I still am. Now I do more formalized rollouts. Like I just did a project with Mexican OT earlier this year. Anyways, wait, I'm going to let my dogs in because it's literally 95 degrees out here. And then I'm going to break down my fucking business. Day in Los Angeles. I like the heat. I'm a desert lizard. I've always said that. Anyways, sorry for being weird. Also, I wanted to say this. A friend of mine asked me the other day, how do you make money? And that's kind of like what prompted me to do this, because I'm like, fuck, if, like my friends don't even know. Ooh, that's cool. Okay. So SetWillFree contains a bunch of things. The main thing, the first thing that started making me money, which was actually, I'm jumping a little bit ahead through all the music video stuff. I did get a sponsor back in the day. Okay, let me just tell this really quick story, and then I'll get back into this. Around 2021, I got a sponsor from The Coldest Water. It was $350 for 10 TikToks. At the time, I was just stoked to be making money. Just like to have a sponsor. I thought it was cool. Those got like millions of views, so they fucking cashed out on me. It is a good water bottle, no cap. Still have it 5 years later. It's good. Anyways, and then also, this is really random, but in 2021, I started this TikTok series where I would put waters in a cooler and chain it up and put a money box next to it and say $1 per water, be honest. And I go out and put it somewhere in my hometown. And I'd make a TikTok in the beginning of the day, and then I'd go back at the end of the day and I'd see how many dollars were there compared to waters taken. And it was like this social experiment that I posted twice a day. So that summer, I ran that up for a summer. Those were getting millions of views. And I made like 2,000 bucks off the waters and like 2,000 bucks off the creator fund on TikTok. So I just wanted to say that to like paint a picture. Like I was always kind of like hustling and like trying to figure out how to get money. I've become a little bit more of an artist lately, but whatever. Okay. So it was the music videos, right? Fuck me. Mute. Did that get muted? Music. There we go. Videos. How does that look? Does that look like shit? These will range from, it just depends. I don't want to give a low price and then have people think that I give low prices. But let's just say like these are like 10K. 10K. If you want an official video, it's more like 20. You know what? Fuck it. We'll say 10K because that's like the standard that I was getting. Okay. Then with this mosh, I started to get brand deals, right? And I guess I'll put that here just because I don't want to crowd it up yet. Brand deals. I got my first big one in 2023 when the music video shit was popping. I did an Amazon Music deal. It was a collab with F1 and Benson Boone, Pierre Gasly. Damn, that shit was lit. Amazing paycheck. Flew down to Mexico City and shot it. These range, they're usually about 20. I've gotten on the high end. Oh, do I even say this? Am I supposed to say this shit? You know what? It's not important. It's not important, okay? I'm going to keep the music video number there because I already put it. But brand deals pay me more than music videos. And now I make most of my money on brand deals. And I've kind of even shifted to where I want to do other things now besides just music videos. You know, like I get that's how I became like known and like those are my biggest videos by far. But over time, it's just like I did a ton of them. There's downsides to doing music videos too. You have to collaborate creatively with the artist who's very protective of their brand. So I bring ideas to the table that maybe I've written out and spend a lot of time and passion thinking about and writing. And then the artist completely rejects it or shits on it and you're just like, guess we'll do whatever you want. So there's been a lot of times where, you know, it's hard to collaborate with an artist when you're putting all the, it depends. Some artists are great and there's even more energy and magic because you're working with somebody else who's great and you build each other up. But many times throughout this whole thing, it's just, it could be a fucking pain in the ass. Let's say that. And so now the only music videos that I do are ones with a big budget or ones where I really fuck with the artist or song. For example, I'll make friends with an artist and we'll go out and shoot something and it'll be all love, you know? But if a label comes to me and they want me to do something lit and put a bunch of pieces together and, you know, like do a whole rollout for the artist's new album, or which I do, and I've had a lot of success doing this shit marketing wise, then I need the bag, and I think it's just like fair. It's not like because I want to tax them, it's just because I want to be able to spend money if I need to on the production, make it as good as it can be, you know, deliver. I always try and over deliver as well. That's an important thing I think I've learned over time, is like over delivering is the best, especially because I'll go out and shoot a video. Let's say it's a music video or a brand deal, and you only post like one video or two assets. You're left with all this other shit. So oftentimes I'll cut that stuff into a different video, a second or a third video, and I'll post it for free just because it's a good look. Relationships are everything. Anyways, brand deals started to come along. I've worked with a bunch of brands at this point. Ray-Ban Meta is the biggest one that I've worked with. I've done maybe 6 or 7 videos with them at this point. They're dope. That's like a dream sponsor for me too, because it's tech. It's filmmaking tech. Like, it's like a product that I would love to try and use anyways. It's really innovative. And yeah, it's so sick. Like, I just went to Paris on a trip with them the other day, a month ago. And that is like my ideal sponsor. I want to get more sponsors like that are in the filmmaking space and doesn't really, this is the coolest type of sponsor on social media. The ones where it's not like I'm selling to my audience, but my audience is actually impressed by the fact that I'm working with them. So like, I'll see people out and they'll be like, bro, I saw you're working with Ray-Ban. Like, it's like sick, you know? And it adds to my brand instead of me shilling some product and people are annoyed by it. It's actually like part of the lore and part of the come up for me. That is like the best type of brand deal. So Ray-Ban Meta is the GOAT. As I said, I did a collab with Amazon Music. I did 2 Adobe videos last year. They were AI related, and that was kind of before AI had the connotation it has. It's still very controversial in the filmmaking space. Actually, it's become more controversial. Just a little side note. So that's like something to factor in too. I declined an AI video deal from Higgsfield earlier this year, which it was like right on the cusp of being enough money. I think that I think there's shit to be done with AI that's valid. And then I think there's stuff where it's like you're removing too much of the artistic filmmaking process. Some people think AI is just bad. I disagree. I use it all the time for mock-ups or pitch decks or even little background replacement things sometimes, Photoshop, digital enhance, whatever, enhance this image, enhance this thumbnail. I just don't see a problem with some stuff like that. God, I thought this was going to be a way shorter stream, but I'm just like, I'm slinging it all out there. One sec. The reason I keep going back there and interrupting the stream is just I'm praying that the audio's on. I did a stream last week with a music artist. I'll get into that. And I realized that the audio was muted for the first 20 minutes of the stream. Not a good look. So anyways, brand deals are the biggest way that I make my money by far. They probably account for 70% of my income now. Okay. Now let's get into some side projects that I have going on. Because also under SetWillFree, so these are like money. This is like a type of content. This is a type of content, but it's like obviously every single time I do it, it's for money. So then down here, we also have professionals. The fuck? Professionals is a show that I created with my friend Henry, where it's meant to be more of a format. I felt like I was kind of reinventing the wheel every time with some of my other video ideas. And that got a little creatively draining to the point where we were like, hey, let's make a show with a format so that we don't have to think about what the intro is going to be every time. The intro is just the same. So the motto of the show is real professionals, surreal challenges. Or surreal challenges, real professionals. I should probably know that. We just dropped an episode yesterday. Go on my Instagram. It's the lawyer episode, or on YouTube, on the Internet Films channel. It's a fucking banger, man. I think it's got like 300 likes right now. I think it's the most underrated video on Instagram. Part of social media is accepting that some of your best work will not be your highest performing, but I know it's goated, so fuck it. This is like a funny cinematic comedy show. I'll just put that. Comedy cinematic. Okay. Now, let's keep going. This is a new project. It's not really new. We started it last year, but it's finally blossoming. And it's called Pet Planet. It's kind of a play on our planet or planet Earth. We initially called it Petflix, like Netflix, which was really good, but we wanted to actually be able to scale it and not get a cease and desist. This is basically cinematic nature documentaries, but for people's pets instead of wild animals. Hi, I'm on stream. Oh. Yeah, I'm making like a little basically like a time capsule video explaining all the different endeavors that we have. And then I'm going to look back on it in like a year and see what happens. Okay. So with Pet Planet, we almost basically setting it up. We were thinking, let's charge around $2,000, maybe like $1,800. We'll promote it on social media. The vids will go viral. We thought from the beginning the videos would go viral. And that's how we'll make the money. We'll send videographers to people's houses. We'll pay them $500, pay an editor $250, something like that. And then we'll keep $1,000 from each video. I realized that even though $1,800 is not a lot in the video production budget world, it's a fuck ton for random people to be paying for a 2.5-minute video that's like a meme of their pet getting these videos are like David Attenborough voice narrating over your pet doing stuff, and it's cool. Like, they're funny, they're heartwarming. We personalize them. You tell us about your pet. We write a script based on that, and then we use an AI voice behind the cinematic video that we create. And yeah, anyways, $1,800 is a lot of fucking money for people to just shell out unless you're super rich. But what we started to realize was if we post these on social and they go viral, which so far every single video that we've made, after posting it 3 to 5 times each video on trial reels, if you don't know what that is, I'll get into it later. But basically we're spamming each video until it goes viral. All of the videos we've made have gone viral at this point. And now what we're trying to do, so like we were gonna like charge people. I don't even know. I don't need to write this. We're gonna charge people, and then we realized that the better play might be to give the videos away for free to strangers, the same way that I did the music videos, and then promote it on social media and get brand deals like pet brands to sponsor us. So what we're currently doing is trying to negotiate with pet brands and say, hey, we want you to be the official sponsor of our page. This will be collab posted with Pet Planet and SetWillFree. And, you know, we want a monthly retainer of X amount of dollars, and we'll post 2, maybe 4 videos, whatever they're down for, honestly. And it'll be a mix of me shooting them and other team members that we bring in. That would be fucking amazing. This is such a weird thing because, you know, side projects can become something that you don't expect to rip, and then all of a sudden it starts making money. So if we can land a sponsor soon for that, it'd be amazing, and I will start using that money. Let's say we get 10 grand a month. This is my plan. We're going to post, we're going to over deliver. Whatever they buy, we're going to post more. We're going to post stories. We're going to do giveaways. You know, we're going to go up to people in the park and be like, hey, do you want a dog video? This is sponsored by X food company. And here's a 6-month subscription, and boom, you get to watch the documentary. So like, I'm super confident that that type of content will go viral and it'll be worth a lot of money to pet brands. And then eventually, you know, I pay, instead of going out and shooting that video myself, since this is kind of supposed to operate like a business so that I can continue to work on passion projects like professionals and other SetWillFree related stuff. I'm going to hire other videographers that can be on camera as well and go out and kind of build a little team, pay them $500 to go out and shoot a video and grow the brand like a team instead of it always just being me. The reason I put SetWillFree at the top is because it's kind of like all encompassing. Like, for example, this is on SetWillFree. But I'm talking about everything. I view SetWillFree as the behind the scenes of everything that I do. It's like the all-encompassing page where like you can follow my journey in art and business. Yeah, so I guess this is gonna get full, because also like there's YouTube videos. Let's like erase the 10K. I don't. Okay, let's like put these in boxes. How about that? Ooh, brand deals. I've never been like super good at formatting things. But anyways, Pet Planet, monthly sponsor, inbound. When I get that, if you watch this stream, that will be lit. There's also like YouTube videos. You know what's funny is these YouTube videos that I've been posting for a decade now, over a decade, but consistently for a decade. My last video got like 200 views, bro. Like, I kind of have gone like this on YouTube, like low, 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 up. The music video era was booming. I got M's on some shit, hundreds of thousands on vlogs, and then it just like dwindled down because I changed topics, and like YouTube, I guess, really fucking hates when you do that. But look at me, dude. I'm all over the map. I can't commit. Instagram is a little bit more free-flowing. You can kind of just post new shit every day. It's not the best, but I think if I water all these plants, it might look absurd that I'm watering this big base, but over time, these will all grow in their own ways. So YouTube videos are pretty much just for fun at this point. If you fuck with my videos, just know I don't make any money off my YouTube, and I make all my money off Instagram brand deals and music video budgets. And yeah, they're all made with love. I have some cool ideas too. Fuck. It's like I never want to niche down, but then I also do have like ideas that all are like creative experiments, so they could fit under that domain. Anyways, what else? Another passion project is jam sessions, jam session streams. So if you go to my YouTube channel that you're currently watching and you go to my live section, you'll see a couple of jam session streams that I've been doing with instrumentalists and musicians. I've only done 3 so far. The reason for this, one, in the last 2 years, I've become like obsessed with playing guitar and piano and even producing music on Logic. It's like, I fucking love it, man. It's cool that it's like abstract. I think it's a similar feeling of doing a music video where you're just trying to like express, and it doesn't really have to have like a beginning, middle, end. It just can be like sound that makes you feel, okay, I don't need to explain music to you. But the reason I started these is because a lot of people would hit with me for music videos, but have no budget. And I wanted, hey, YouTube. Can you tell me if my audio is good? Okay. So, let me explain this first. Back to the reason I got into music videos. I wanted to get closer to the music world. I love music. I love artists. I think they're dope. There's so many artists that I grew up listening to and just watching what they do outside of the music. It's just like, it's a big part of what motivates me and inspires me as an artist. So I wanted to get closer to these musicians, and music videos was a step into that industry, and I had the skills, so I did it. I found after doing probably 200 music videos, maybe 100, there are some issues with the business model. Sometimes artists hit you and they don't have a budget, right? And it's not that you don't fuck with them or you don't want to work with them, but it's just like, bro, if this is going to take me a day of planning an idea, a day of thinking of an idea, a day of planning the idea, a day of shooting, and then 3 days of editing, it's like, I got to get paid for that, or else it just helps you. Maybe it helps me in exposure, but I'm past that point a little bit, unless it's a huge artist, right? So the other thing is, now that I've learned how to play piano and guitar, I want to get even closer. Like I want to get even close. sorry. I want to get even closer to music, um, and I want to like just be right in the center of it. So I also have tons of questions as a beginner in these fields. So what I've been doing, long way of saying, jam streams are for me to be able to sit down with dope musicians, play with them, and ask them questions. It's almost like this funny, selfish thing where I'm just trying to like learn from people, and I love to play with people. So that's been cool. Also, like if somebody hits me up and doesn't have a budget, I can then I can then refer them to the jam stream. Hey, I'm not trying to do a music video right now because I'm busy and that would take too much work for no money. But for free, you could come on my stream and we could jam. You could sing. I'll play guitar, whatever. Maybe they play guitar as well. And it's still a way of achieving content with artists. The other thing is, the third reason is some artists don't really apply to run and gun music videos that I typically do as much. Like let's say a band is like, hey, let's work. I've done a bunch of videos with bands and stuff. And instrument playing musicians, but it can be hard to coordinate them. Sometimes I don't always have an idea for an entire band. Like rappers are different. You can kind of point a camera at them and put them in different places. So blah, blah, blah. Some genres and types of artists, I kind of just would rather jam with them than plan a whole music video and go shoot it. And eventually I kind of see this being a mix between like Tiny Desk and like Blackboy Max, where it's like, and like Aiden Ross too, that influence of like, I loved watching like Tory Lanez freestyle on Aiden Ross. So I want this to be that with instrumentalists and more of like singing than rapping, if that makes sense. What else do we have? For fun, okay, there's a big one that I've been working on with my brother for a few months now, and it's going to drop in March or April of 2027, and I can't put it here because that's how good it is. The audio is good, but I'm really fucking excited for that. And it's a product, I'll say that. It's like a packaged consumer product. So that's the first one of those that I've ever done. Actually, wait, I'll get into this. These are all production based, and it's going to be interesting to try and create a physical product and scale it. So anyways, I lied though. I'm all over the place. The first product that we ever did was merch, like many people did. And it fell under the company name Internet Films, which is still a page that we use and post on occasionally because obviously we have a lot going on. Internet Films is a term that I love though, and it's something that I thought of because I like to think of myself as a genre format bending filmmaker. The music videos were kind of fresh, the ones that I did. And it's because they were very process oriented. You'd watch for a minute me walk up to the artist and then create the video, and then you'd get a 30-second music video. So it was like this different version of a music video. It wasn't just a 3-minute video on YouTube with no BTS, like it was kind of my own version, my own take on the music videos being from a social media background. So the reason I'm saying that is because I like to think that the internet by nature, by democratizing attention, has allowed people like me to bend genres, I'll give you an example. There's a YouTuber named Steezy Kane that's the boy, and he does these singing in public videos where he sings, and it's kind of like supposed to be embarrassing, but they're funny. People are reacting to him like singing the new Playboi Carti album. And I saw a video where he was, he did a bunch of those videos over time, and they went super viral. It's like a prank video basically. But then it would cut to, all of a sudden I saw a video where it would cut from him singing in public to him getting home, you know, putting the camera down, being like, oh, I'm exhausted from doing these singing in public videos. And it was like a narrative, like scripted short film. And things like that, where it blends internet native pranks in this case and real traditional filmmaking. My word for that is internet films, similar to a Nathan Fielder who blends reality and script. Like, I think the internet native content has been so rooted in reality. Like, that's what has gone viral, right? Music videos, my stuff, like what, being out in public, strangers, all that shit. So blending that with like a real meaning and more traditional filmmaking story is what I call an internet film. So this page is essentially both a store where we sell shirts and kind of this just like appreciation for real artists on the internet today. People that I think blend reality and script really artfully and like do the internet in an artistic and fresh way. That's how I would describe it. But that's the name we chose for our merch brand. So through that, we sold SetWillFree merch and 2 different designs of these like really nice high quality tees. They're still available. Actually, that might not be true at the current moment, but the page is still up if you go look at Internet Films Co. This has its own page. So does this. So does Professionals. But I collab post all this shit pretty much. I collab post it with SetWillFree. And damn, this pool is looking nice, bro. I think I'm going to want to get in the pool soon. It's pretty hot. Okay, I'm going to power through. I'm going to keep going. Finish it strong. This is the mystery business that will be dropping in April, maybe March. And I'm fucking excited. It's going to be sick. That's like also like a completely different topic, but it kind of is in line with being a hustler and working. And, you know, it's a product that you might get at a bodega or a fancy grocery store. Say that. 38 minutes. Dude, the reason I like doing the streams too is because I will never edit this. Like, I will never touch it. I'll have somebody clip it up for me. I have a clips page too. I mean, I don't even need to get into all the different pages that I have on here. But it's crazy that I can turn on the camera, spend 45 minutes yapping, and it's like 90% as good as if I turned on the camera, spent 45 minutes yapping, and then cut that down to 38 minutes. You know, like, this is like almost as good as that. It's a little bit lower quality, but it also is taking me the exact amount of time that it's shooting, you know, 45 minutes instead of 45 minutes of shooting plus hours of editing, days of not posting it. Like, I can't even go. 90% of the shit that I've ever filmed has not seen the light of day. Let's just say that. Am I missing anything? These are how I make my money. Mostly this. A little bit this now. It used to be all that. This is a rising star. This is a passion project. This is a passion project right now, but I'm telling you, I'm going to get the plain white tees on that shit. It's going to be sick. Like, over time, I really believe in that as a format. And it's just really fun. This is really good. This is some of my work that I'm proud of. Hey. Oh, thank you. My mom wrote me a water. Professionals is some of my favorite shit that I've ever done. We've only posted 6 episodes in over a year of doing it, but that's because it was something that I started to be a format and to be easy, and my artist brain just like took every idea and expanded it to be as good as it could possibly be. And the episodes are quite hard to think of, produce, and edit and whatever, so they take a long time. You can expect more of those, though. We're definitely going to be doing more. But yeah, I have a new series coming out that's just like a SetWillFree series. This is like basically the rundown of my businesses. Did I forget anything? I have my Ice Cortados page. That's just like a little fun documentation of all the coffee that I drink. Let me think before I end stream. Charlie was on the first episode of Pet Planet. What do you think? Here, wait. Just in case there's any questions or anything from the chat, let me get my other phone. 1 second. All right. Okay. So there's basically like thousands and thousands of questions from the chat that I can't address them all. I don't have time. There were no questions. So I think this was pretty good. I think this was something that we can look back on in a bit and see what's good. I guess the last thing that I will say, because people ask me what my goals are a lot, and honestly, like, I really love what I do right now. I just want to make more money doing the same shit in the short term. And what by the same shit, I mean thinking of ideas, working on them, bringing them to life. Every day is different. I get to go on cool trips and hang out with my friends and film it and call it work. Honestly, it's great. I didn't know that I was gonna like do this when I started doing YouTube in 2016. I didn't know that it was gonna become all this, but my mom's watching the stream and I can hear my own voice echoing. Anyways, though, people ask me what my goals are, and I definitely want to do a movie or 5 one day. I have some really cool ideas that are format bending, like I said. So, like, I'm not married to, I got to do a 2-hour movie next year. But I have been getting more into writing scripts and acting, and Professionals is an outlet that lets me to do that, that allows me to do that. So I'm definitely going to make feature films in my life. I definitely want to make albums of music and, just keep being an artist and being able to flow between different mediums of art. Maybe a TV show. The people that I look up to the most are, musical artists like legends, Kanye and Drake and Pink Floyd and fucking Quentin Tarantino. And so I want to do my own version of whatever that is, of stuff that really lasts. I think about this a lot with social media because I'm both a content creator and a artist or a filmmaker. And why I distinguish the two is because Quentin Tarantino hardly ever talks to camera unless he's doing an interview to promote his movie. But as a content creator, it's like kind of expected that you show up and have this constant communication with your audience, like what I'm doing right now. Even though if I really wanted to reach a bigger audience, I would do this on Instagram. But I'm just like trying to save it on YouTube, so I'm doing it here. But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. sometimes I have to decide whether I want to spend time talking and communicating with the audience or going into a hole and being creative. And we turn that down a little. Going into a hole and being creative and spending a lot of time on a project, because social media keeps you on such a quick turnaround hamster wheel where it feels like you need to be present every day or every week. And the truth is, people like Kanye or Quentin Tarantino, like I mentioned, never did that. You know, like it's like short bursts of being out in public and then they go away and you have no idea where they are, and they're in Hawaii working on an album for 3 months. And so I believe that that's what's necessary to create like the greatest art that's going to stand the test of time. I don't think a TikTok that I necessarily go make right now in 10 minutes, despite being a conversation with my audience, which isn't useless, it's very useful actually in some ways, but I feel like that's not going to last as long, right? So it's kind of like a mix of doing both of those. And making sure I get enough of both of it. And I think the way to decide is just by letting my enjoyment level decide, you know, like when I feel like inspired to write and be tucked away and put a ton of energy into a project, like an episode of Professionals, cool. And then when I want to just yap and do something like this and be an internet guy, that's cool too. So yeah. Anything else? I'm gonna get in the pool. You got anything else, Mav? Okay. That does he? Okay, that's a wrap. Am I forgetting anything? Yeah, there's merch available on Internet Films. I kind of feel like dropping something new also. It's been a year since we dropped. Year and a half. I guess you know what? Just because I mentioned it. Here's another passion project for you. Boom. Boom. SoundCloud, Will Free Arc. Peace. Peace.